We do have an officer coming in to take the complaint. Thank you. He'll take the information.
Yeah.
This is take it now.
No.
We're pro
No,
evidence.
this is about
Got nothing to do with that.
please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lockdown suicides becoming murder. We're accusing
Okay.
party to an offense of murder.
Okay.
As there's signatures on the orders in council that are clearly forgery.
Okay.
And the information has been presented to the chief of police.
Okay.
And if he has not done anything, we would like you to criminally charge the chief of police.
Okay. Well, we'll investigate.
Yes,
And then
yes.
On that matter.
We have some information to
Yeah,
go with this
yeah.
for
So
your
right,
investigation.
yeah. So right now we have an officer coming in.
Thank you. Can we have a business card, please? Can I have a business card, please? Thank you so much.
Here we go, patriots, Canadians. Just a few of us, but it's okay. It's just the beginning. Next time, gonna be more.
It's horrible. I watched it play where they were washing the So I don't even know what it's disgusting. No, I can't even know what's going on.
Okay, so I would like to file a complaint against Chief Stephen Banner. We have various accusations with respect to criminal code violations, with respect to the code of protocols. And here's the information for you to consider in your investigation.
So So the charges that we would be accusing the chief of are a party to the offense of all of these things here. And what we have here is a Form 2 that you would actually file to the Crown if you were to make an arrest and have somebody charged with criminal conduct. And what we have here is we have Elizabeth Oswald, the Lieutenant Governor, as the person whose primary interest, but information has been brought to the chief's attention regarding the crimes of the Lieutenant Governor who's committed crimes through order. The conduct of the crimes have been through order. And one of the easiest examples, and there's a lot more in there, is the signatures on the Declaration of Emergency, the orders in council. This is Doug Ford's signature. There's no Ford. The big D is broken in 2 places. The little d is broken here. And this is just 2 examples of numerous examples of pixel editing. So just as a kind of a question, would you know how to copy and paste and put a signature on a document? Would you know how to do that? Okay, so maybe she might know how to do that. She would be a computer science person or an engineer who'd be able to do that. So if you were the Lieutenant Governor or the Premier, you would not know how to do this very likely. And so the signatures are clearly forgery, Section 366 of the Canadian Criminal Code. And this has been brought to the attention of the Chief of Police as well.
So you're saying Chief Tanner is responsible for the fraudulent of these signatures?
For doing nothing. For doing nothing. So under the regulations of the Police Services Act, in the schedule for code of conduct, a failure to report something that's a criminal charge or an important charge, if he's done nothing, we would like him criminally charged with party to the offense of terrorism, hoax regarding terrorism, breach of trust, disobeying a statute, obstructing justice, criminal negligence causing death, culpable homicide, misconduct of process, obstructing religious services, nuisance, reckless endangerment of children, criminal negligence, administering noxious substance, torture, for which there is no excuse for torture, even in an emergency. All elements of torture have been satisfied, and this has been brought to the chief's attention. Extortion, false pretense, forgery, fraud, intimidation, willfully creating an event such as emergency, and mischief as properties have been made inoperative. So we would say that the chief is party to these offenses. And the most important one is lockdown suicides becoming murder, or healthcare related deaths becoming murder. So we are in effect accusing the chief of police of Halton and every other chief of police in Ontario of murder. Lockdown suicides become murder.
Silence. We're keeping silence.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the criminal information.
Okay.
It's broken up into several pieces. The first page is what you would file against somebody. That would be the Form 2. And then the second set of pages are an explanation of how we determined the signature fraud or forgery. We made white into black, and you can see pixel editing all over the place. So these clearly, and who is this? We don't even know whose signature that is. That's the chair of cabinet. So some of the things that are missing on, for example, the orders in council, and I have copies of orders in council. Some of the things that are missing on orders in council are, let's see, here's an order in council. There's no name. There's no name, no name. There's no regulation number on the signature page. There's no stamp of the Lieutenant Governor. There's no signed at Toronto, Queen's Park, or wherever these were signed for. And illegible. And so this signature looks decent. This is about one of the only signatures that look decent, but it's been copied and pasted, as you can see here. See, this document here, I believe, could be the declaration of emergency. Recommended is broken from the rest of the word. And ED, if not on this document, it's 1 pixel down from the rest of the word. And this here is a curl that was edited out. So this is 366 Criminal Code, forgery.
Okay.
And so if this is forgery and the chief of police did fail to do anything on this, did fail to report, as is his duty for code of conduct, then we are accusing him of lockdown, suicides becoming murder, criminal negligence causing death, section 220 of the Canadian Criminal Code, life in prison, and section 229C, a culpable homicide is murder, because that would make all of this an unlawful act without the intention of a death, and yet there is a death. And lockdown suicides are a death. And it's also an element of torture, too, that's caused people to commit suicide and lose their ability to earn income.
Let's not forget the kids,
And also,
our kids, and yours.
also, just as a supplement, the Canadian Bill of Rights, the pertinent part is the respect for Parliament and its constitutional authority, and which shall ensure the protection of these rights and freedoms in Canada, freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. The chief also failed to uphold this and question parliamentarians by way of either himself, you, the OPP, and the RCMP.
Okay. Yeah, you know you can file private information.
And so that's another reason for section 83.01 bracket 1 bracket B of the criminal code charge right here, 83.01 bracket 1 bracket B. The ability to file an information is there only in the ability to hand into the JP office this package.
Okay.
But since March 17th last year, the beginning of the lockdown, they were not processing applications. So that is a disruption and an interference of an essential service.
Okay.
That's why we're coming to the police.
Is that process still in place now?
I don't know, but it was in place for over a year for sure. I don't know if it's this month.
But have you explored it
And
now?
no, because people are killing themselves.
The criminality is too big.
Kids,
Please.
12 years old, are killing
So
themselves.
our biggest accusation
And we are
is part
here
of the
because-
offense of lockdown suicides become murder. We're accusing the chief of possible, and we need you to investigate the chief for murder, among everything else, and forgery.
Yeah. What's your name, sir?
I'd like to remain anonymous, please.
We're going to need to have a complainant if we're going to be.
Well, she's the complainant.
Okay. But you're doing all the talking. That's
I'm assisting her. She understands everything I'm saying.
We're all together in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, we will take this information. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We'll file a report. The information will be filed, and I mean, we'll have our. If you want to lay a complaint against our chief, I mean, that's well within your right to do so.
We have. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And you know, we'll forward it up to our legal department. They can take a look at this and go from there.
Okay.
I
So
can't
we
promise
have.
anything because I honestly
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. So all we want is an investigation into the criminality of the chief of police
Absolutely.
of Halton region.
Yep.
So
So
we
I'll
need-
be honest with you, what you're listing here and what you're stating as far as signatures and stuff is beyond my realm
Yeah,
of
I
knowledge,
understand
not
that part.
related, right?
Yeah, I understand
So,
that. Yeah.
but we'll,
Through her.
And then do we get the incident done in order
yeah,
now?
we'll give you this number right this
Okay,
second.
yeah.
And do you have a business card? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll need your business cards.
And I want to mention something. We are here because we have so much respect for you. So we are here to ask for help.
Sure. 100%. That's why we're here, right?
You know.
Yeah.
I won't make any promises that I can't do right.
No, definitely.
This is, like I said, this is
Yeah,
above
well, we
my
know
head.
what we're heading into. That's why
Oh, yeah.
that's why we understand.
We're gonna be back with a
Understand what
crime
you're
against
doing.
kids.
And we're not here to criticize you. We're here to help
No,
you.
not at all. I don't
So we're here in support of Section 1.2 of the Police Services Act.
Yes.
Safeguard the fundamental rights and freedoms in the Human Rights Code. Because we understand as police officers, it would be very difficult to go against the Lieutenant Governor who's done all of this through order, created the lockdown suicides becoming murder. And it's also very difficult to go against your Chief of Police too. So you can go against your Chief of Police using the Canadian Bill of Rights and the Charter of Rights, Section 1B of the Canadian Bill of Rights, equal benefit and equal protection of the law, where no one is above the law. And same with Section 15 of the Charter, equal benefit, equal protection of the law. The Chief of Police is not above the law.
No.
And even in Ron Corelli versus Duplessis in 1959 Supreme Court case, the judge stated that if you act outside of statutory authority, you're privately liable. So we are stating that the chief is criminally liable for allowing the Lieutenant Governor to continue on with all of this and doing nothing about it.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I have it right so when I come on the report.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize for the phone.
It is time to be stopped. You guys are the call. Act.
We need your help. We're coming to you.
You
for
need,
help.
all of us, we need your help.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we are here.
This is crippling our children's future and everything.
And I'm so sure all of you have kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
Or an uncle, you're an uncle to someone.
Yeah, and also you now know this, and so we expect you to
Follow through.
act against the Lieutenant Governor.
Please.
So you feel the chief is, just to get the wording right, do you feel the chief is responsible for?
A murder, a party to offense murder, Section 21 of the Canadian Criminal Code.
And the reason being?
Because we've given information and we don't believe he's acted on it, and he has a duty to report, as in Section 2 of the regulations of the schedule of the Police Services Act. And it's actually in one of the documents, it's the cover page, neglect of duty. It's in neglect of duty of the schedule of the regulation of the Police Services Act. It's OREG 260, 10 or 20, or I'm not sure, but it's in the documentation.
Okay, and what was it that you mentioned about the Attorney General and the
Lieutenant Governor.
Sorry,
The Lieutenant Governor, through order, committed forgery and murder and torture and violated religious services and committed mischief.
So you're saying the Lieutenant Governor, by making this order,
Yes. Committed all of these crimes
all
right
these
there
offenses, and-
on page 1, yes.
and Tanner, the chief,
Did nothing
and that's what he's
after given the information. So he's party to the offense because he's allowed that criminal
Yeah, he
to
did
continue on as people are killing themselves.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Not to mention economic impacts on
Yes,
everyone.
that's right. And that would be mischief.
That's right.
Section 430, making properties inoperative. And so, if, for example, if I knew you and you were Doug Ford and I was the Lieutenant Governor and I saw signatures like this, I would go, Dougie, you okay? Is it the crack? Dougie?
But if they do say that it's their signatures, does that mean that
Well,
the
if you
chief's
see
up
the
for that?
document, yeah, it's acceptable. But this, it's pixel edited, so only a computer whiz would have been able to place it on a document.
Right.
It's not a wet signature,
Right.
and it's not an electronic signature.
But to be devil's advocate, right, if Doug Ford or the Lieutenant Governor said that, yeah, I signed those and I approved these orders, then null and void, right? Our chief's off the hook.
No, they're still there. Like murder's still there, regardless
Yeah.
of the forgery.
And there's
Exactly.
people complicit in making those changes, so there's more than one person that knows
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
And they should be exposed.
Yeah.
as
So
well.
it's murder. Period.
Okay. Days murder. My brother's girlfriend had COVID-like symptoms, was sexually in the hospital, and
said that, you know, that should come,
No.
should be exposed. Yeah. And there's all kinds of examples of what she just said going on.
Yeah, especially in the Halton region, with the hospitals in the Halton region.
My father died 3 weeks ago Saturday of his second vaccination of heart attack-like symptoms. But anyway, I don't want to, we don't want to, we're here for this reason here.
Let's focus on one thing.
We're here to focus on this. We know all the other stuff going on.
Okay, so can we have an incident now?
Yep. It's got to go back.
This is the incident number on the back of the card. Alright. That's my name, the badge number's in the front. I'm no longer at this district. I'm at right
You
now,
have a
so I
card
just
though,
crossed
right?
that out.
We're
That's
gonna,
my card.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I would like both cards. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No. Who else wants to make a complaint? Who's got paperwork for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so come forward.
You want to give your name and we'll just put it all in one?
Use my name for sure.
So I'm gonna step a little bit outside of that perimeter. Every single person here, they're gonna file the complaint. And it's amazing. We are so surprised. The police, it was kind of nice actually. And we're gonna be back. And we're gonna keep going to every single police station till they're gonna listen to us, because they are human like us, and they are parents and uncles. And
Yes, I have it, yes.
I asked you to explain, so I can explain it briefly. The reason is why, all about why, the lieutenant governor. Because we know protesters all around the world, we're not only 5, 10 people, 18 people. We know
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
scientists and doctors and journalists and writers, they are silenced. They are suppressed, not to speak about. This is not.
Freedom of the speech has been interfered with.
Yeah, this is
which
not
the
about.
duty of the police to
This is
safeguard.
not about we are rebellious about from the 1940s or 50s, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing about. We're more criminality, medias around the world. And they're suppressing doctors and scientists and everything.
Yeah, we are not
Only
saying the
5
virus
to 10
doesn't exist.
every 5,
We
10
don't say
seconds
that. We
they're
are not here for
releasing
that.
person
We are.
talk.
on the CBC propaganda, COVID. Now it's available for the kids. How do you feel? How do we feel they to give you to inject the kids with untested experimental kill shots? Would you feel your kids and your brothers and sisters, your family, they are suffering, they are dying, and they are not exposed? But we know it. We are coming as a brothers and sisters to you guys.
Please state your criminal code
That's what it is.
violation.
Staying strong, be courageous to end up this evil.
Yeah.
Because this mask is not protecting nothing. Just you are obeying for your job.
Stay on what criminal code conduct you want to report. Stay focused. He's basically reverberating what we're saying with official information. Okay, so you have another
So it's
person.
another anonymous person.
Anonymous person?
Is it the same?
It's the same.
Yeah, it's all going to go in as one guy's name. We're just going to put
Well, we'd
whoever.
like you to hand it to other police officers, because we'd like to reach 26,000 police officers in Ontario. That would be municipal and open.
Yeah, we don't do that. That'll be on you guys if you want to reach out. But
Here,
so
please.
what'll happen is this will be filed.
Okay.
It's going to go to our legal department because, like I said, this is above what you're alleging here is beyond our realm of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we'll be signed. You've got your occurrence report. It'll go to our legal department and they'll address it from there. But this is step one. This is the best way we can operate your ring.
Can I have your call?
Yeah, I have to get from the car. Sorry, somebody else.
Yeah.
Just as a friendship, I want to sometimes.
Please stand with us. Because this is
It's not so much
more
that
than
we're
just
here to assist you in the police service act.
Just
Section
stand
150.
You gotta get together.
Sign our
You
rights
have to
ask
get
for your
together.
and the human rights
Take
code.
this please for your
Standing
information.
in your
I'm good.
place.
I don't need it. No,
Thank you for
thank you. I
your
don't need it for my
Thank you for
information.
your-
Thank you. But I'll get you my card, and then we'll. If there's anybody else had any questions over here?
No, we appreciate for doing that. Let me shake your hand if you don't mind. Okay. No shake. Okay.